Uh, we had an interesting news today, and that was in Hindu, and only in Hindu. Find out what is inside that news. The news says Muslim students strength in higher education fell by 1.79 lakh in 2021. Very catchy, you can say. And what the details say, that there have been survey by UDISC and AISHE. And what they say, from 17,39,218 Muslim students enrolled in 2016-17, it increased to 19,21,713, means almost 2 lakh. And next year it declined by 1 point something like 75 lakh or 1.8 lakh, you can say. The report says that across all states the trend is the same. There is a start declining gradually from class 6 and is the lowest in 11th and 12th. While Muslims make up around 14.42% of the total enrollment of 6.67 crore at the upper primary level, it decreases to 12.62 and further to 10.76. The report recommends, or this author of this news also, that you have to give an intense support for, because in the case of general trend it is 12.6% dropout rate, while in Muslims it is 18.64%, as if 18.64 is much bigger than 12.6. The issue should have been otherwise also. That survey that is there, survey was conducted at all India level, including all the communities. Why to specify Muslims only? When you talk about the non-Muslims, particularly Hindus, you split the statistics into SCs and STs and OBCs and general category. Don't you think the same kind of stratification is found amongst the Muslims also? Amongst the dropouts who are there, how many of them would be from Ashraf? I doubt the least. Compared to rest of the communities also, their number would be much less. But still, anyway, issue is that decline is there, and decline is there overall in the country. We already know that more than 6 crore children have never been to school under right to education. Does it mean only the Muslims are there? Then they say that intensive efforts, if they had explained why the number increased in the year before, and increase was significant by about 2 lakh, decrease is about 1.7 or 1.8. You are talking only about decrease. Why don't you explain that the number increased because of what reasons? You never explored. You explain the decrease in number because the people are poor and they cannot continue their studies. I have always been talking about that issue of education is one such that has to be tackled at the national level. Education should be free, universal, quality, on the pattern of study now, pay later. The country will have to bear a burden for about 15 to 16 years, and thereafter so much of return would be there that you don't have to spend money thereafter. And for that, you need an all India teacher service, and also, besides the midday meal, you also need hot breakfast. Unless nutritional levels are raised, you cannot reach the level of education. Education is a serious business, has to be tackled carefully. I've been always asking, if people do not have something, never you think about why they don't have. If they are poor and they cannot have access to education, you never raised an issue why people are poor. You are feeding more than 81 crore people free of cost. Chanakya says that a country will be happy only if three things are met. First is there must be peace at the border. Second, people should have work. The working hand should work. And third, peace in the country. Which of these three characteristics is being met? You will have work only if you have caliber. You will have caliber only if you are trained in, you are educated. And the quality of education which is being imparted, everybody knows. Even through the education you are creating national parasites. You already know that more than 2/3 of the engineers, they are unemployable. Not unemployed, unemployable. So when you conduct a study all India, but you project only a particular community, what does it smell of? The issue is the nation as a whole. And the condition of education is going from bad to worse. You already know, even amongst IITs and IIMs, more than 1/3 vacancies exist, vacancies of teachers. You already know, even if you impart education to these people, in the medical, in the engineering, IITs, IIMs, many of the students from weaker sections, they drop out in the first year itself or after failing several times. You are doing nothing to improve their quality. You are only doing to increase the number who pass out at 8th level, 10th level, 12th level, graduate, postgraduate. I never understand when we learn from our weaknesses. I've been telling health and education are two issues that should be free. These two issues, they take up 50% of a household budget. What government can do is, people in the private sector, they cannot afford. But in the central government, a PN with a basic salary, with a minimum salary of 18,000 can do. So what the government can do is that make health and education free, and just because it is 50% of the budget, slash the salary by 50%, simple. Government will never do, because the corporates, they are involved in these businesses, health and education. Because the corporates who fund the state, say for example, the public schools, missionary schools and all others, they earn more than 3,000 crore rupees as profit from schools only in Delhi and Mumbai. And if government does it free, obviously what will happen to the government itself? But anyway, the time is there when we got to have a new kind of thinking. We got to have an integrated approach. I've been telling you, for me, development means health, education, employment, environment. Any integration of these can bring boom to the country, boom to the economy, happiness to the people, work to the people. Please think. Thank you.